What's up, everybody? You know it is Monkey Mike. We're back again with Monkey Wrenching. Thank you for being here. Today I have Miata engine. You know what it is. This is apparently what the channel has evolved to become, is like a Miata channel, which never intended to be that way. It's a joke. It's not really going to go that way. But with that said, let's get into it and get this motor at least as moderately garage built, I guess. This isn't going to be a very technical build, but there will be some technical stuff, but it's going to be more kind of like how to make power in your garage, how to not spend a whole bunch of money and try to make a few extra ponies. I'm not claiming that we're going to make a lot, but we are going to make some. Currently, let's see, I've got the alternator loosened up, which is really simple. Okay, you just loosen this nut back here, jams that in there, and you pull that up, and then that'll move there. That seems to be kind of a pain to get this off of anything. Like I would just drive me nuts having to change that in the parking lot. So these are loose. We'll just go ahead and take those off real quick. And then I did loosen the pulley as well. But before I do that, I want to show you guys about how we go about timing this. So as you can see right here, where I just put my nail in, there's that little timing notch. We're going to go ahead and put that at TDC, or at least what we think is TDC. Now that's matching this little slit right there. We're going to match it with the bigger of the lines, which, as you can see by the T right there, that should be top dead center. So we're just going to go ahead and make sure. Oh, we went too far. There we go. It's about as perfect as it's going to get. Now, these should be pointing about as straight up as they can be. I'm sure we're going to have a little bit of belt slip and things of that nature. They're not going to be dead straight up and down. Like this one here is just a cut hair to the outside, whereas this one as well is just cut hair to the outside. But there's not enough slack in the belt up here for there to be any amount of tooth. There is not enough slack up here for there to be any amount of tooth gap. So we can't, it didn't jump teeth or anything like that. So timing is fine. I have a way that we can kind of mark the belt. Let's see if I have it in my pocket. I do. This little paint pen. Kind of jerk it off a little bit there. Okay, and then what we're going to do is there is a slit right here in the cam. Okay, we're just going to mark. Let's put a little paint line right there. Yeah, no, yeah. So there's a little slit in the cam. You can see I just kind of marked it. I'm just going to put a little bit of paint right there. Maybe. Does my paint pen still work? Just like I said, you can jerk it off a little bit. Give it some love, get nasty with it. Oh, come on. That'll have to do. Ew, man, that thing is all junked up. Oh, well. And then the same thing here. The slit is right there. And you can see my nail falls into it. Whoops, there we go. So the slit's right there. You can see as my nail falls into it. All right, so we just mark this guy best we can. We just want to know the general area, basically. Like this tooth is going to line up into there, and this tooth, it's because it's on the opposite sides of it. So that's about the best we're going to get as far as marking that goes. It's not really a worry I have, because there's only one way to put the belt on, and that's got to be with the cams. As you can see, well, you can't really see it, but there's an I right there, and then there's an E right there. There we go. There's the E. There's the I. That is for intake. This is the intake side. Exhaust. It's the exhaust side. Really simple design. There's nothing fancy up here, nothing to even adjust. You just make sure that the cam is within specs. Nothing has been rolled over or dented, destroyed in any way. Everything looks fine to me. As far as fine as it's gonna be. I'm not trying to spend a whole lot of money on this. My brother and I were actually discussing this beautifully large engine bay about what we're going to fill this with at a later time. But for right now, we are going to run the Miata engine. So he has a 1.6, I have a 1.6, and we know that they're not going to survive us. At least It won't survive me, that's for sure. So I think I'm going to just get this pulley off. Now that this is lined up, we'll get this pulley off. We'll buzz these off. Grab the compressor and the air gun over there. And we'll just basically get the accessories off, get the starter off. And probably the exhaust manifold. I'll get this off here so we can get this shut. This is going to come off completely. We have a block off plate that'll go inside of here. I'll show you guys that as we go. And yeah, I guess this is just this is what's happening. So we'll be back. All right, here we are, mostly disassembled. We're about ready to take the head off. I'm just going to get the front timing stuff off. As you can see, all the things I told you I was going to take off are indeed off. I do need to still drain the oil. Pretty much everything is removed besides the thermostat housing, cam angle sensor, which I actually think, well, no, because that needs to come off so we can reseal it. But I don't think I'm going to pull the valve or the head apart. The valve. I don't think I'm going to pull the head. Oh my God. Take 3. 3? Can I count? I said 2 and said 3. Jesus. Okay, try again. Take 3. So I don't think I'm actually going to disassemble the head. I may leave the valves in it. It really all depends on how far I want to take it. I do want to show you guys, though, that the exhaust is definitely going to get hardcore ported. I don't care if I have to shove stuff in there and block it off. And I mean, the head's off, so we'll be able to clean it out real well. But, holy crap, these holes are so small in comparison to the exhaust manifold side. And, this is a multi-layer steel, so it's an MLS gasket for the exhaust manifold. But yeah, these are probably, well, I don't know. As you can see there, probably be an 1/8 bigger diameter overall. That's a lot of exhaust pressure that we could be getting out of the head. The faster we can get it out of the head, the faster it gets in the turbo, the better the spool is. So realistically, porting the exhaust really is going to be the concentration. I'm not going to mess too much with the intake side just because there's no point. As I said, I probably will take off those top areas and port match that. Mainly just allow the fuel to have an easier way to get in so it doesn't stay into a stream. The old injectors did pretty much shoot in a steady stream, whereas the new ones do have an atomization pattern. And I just don't want that to get hindered trying to get down that tunnel. We'll just smooth all that crap out and we'll give that a little bit better of an area to run with. And I'll do my best to actually CC everything as well. Maybe we'll get a graduated cylinder and go about it the right way. But for now, I'm going to get the rest of the stuff off. Again, marking the belt isn't really going to help a whole lot. It's just kind of nice. You can just do this if you want. But this will just peel right off. I mean, you take one of these off and the whole thing's coming off. I do suggest take this off first. Holy crap, come on now. So once that is off, as you can see the keyway, it only goes in one way, so don't worry about putting it on wrong. That's the Woodruff key right there. All right, so once we take this guy off, I feel dumb. There we go. So now the timing belt is off. And then these cams are identical, which is kind of cool, so it doesn't matter where they go. And as you saw, they have the little deals there that mark and show which cams where. They have the indicating marks on the inside of the cam there. I'll show you guys a little bit more in detail right now. You can see there, they are identical, which is kind of nice. All right, really, I just kind of want to see this. I've never got to actually see this off. Everyone just uses this block off plate, and I'm really excited to get this eyesore off the front of my engine. And here it is, the most triumphant moment. I've been waiting to see that for quite a long time. As you can see, pretty much everything is torn apart. The only thing left to do is to deal with the timing stuff, which we'll talk about in the next video. Pull the head off itself. I just need to take these bolts out. we'll deal with the cam angle sensor. Then I did take the 1/2" MPT. That was the, this was in there. This was the plug. It's now in here. And this should work flawlessly as it is now, just like this. I'll probably put some more sealant in there, or maybe actually go get a real 1/2" MPT plug, because this one here, I don't know, it was a little loose, but the water pressure is not going to be very high. My only concern with this is that this was a pressure bypass, and I'm really hoping that after I epoxy the block and I drill it out to match the head gasket, that we're not going to have backflow issues with the water pump and it stressed too hard. I hope that it is able to maintain enough pressure to go through here. After some thought, I think you guys are going to be really excited. I did find the motor that I'm going to swap in here after this. So with that in mind, I am not going to buy 90% of the crap that I was going to buy for this engine. I will get a reseal kit, and that is it. I am not going to buy an MLS head gasket. Unless for some reason, all I do is lift the head off with too much boost for some reason, and I can just get another one. Maybe we'll do that at a later time. I'm going to reuse the head bolts. I'm going to reuse the rod bolts. I'm going to reuse a bunch of crap. I will explain why. You can drop down in the comments and tell me why you think I shouldn't, because I'm pretty sure somebody will. But I'm telling you, there's a reason why. And I just want to save it for the next video so we have a little something to talk about. The bearings here, you can hear the little, right? Before I lube that up, that's what it sounded like. I'm pretty certain that once I clean this one up and lube it up, it's going to sound just the same. I may get new timing stuff, mainly because it's only $50 for this part right here. This is a spring-based tensioner. It's really easy to deal with, and it's cheap. Even for the two bearings, pulleys, bearings, however we want to call them. These here are $50 for both the Japanese one. These are this is a Koyo, that's NTN. Both are supplied by NTN, and then the belt itself is also Japanese. Which the one we have I think is fine, but for $50, I mean, are you really worried about it? So with that said, the main gasket kit is only like $70 for the one I want. And that's because I want to use Engine Tech. I'm a very big fan of Engine Tech, and I believe that their gasket is going to be as comparable to OEM as I can get for the price. I did find a few other companies that were just random no-name on eBay, and I don't want to worry about that too much. I'm not concerned about what I'm doing and about buying the utmost 100% expensive seals in the world so that I feel better about it. I think Engine Tech is a great company, and this isn't a plug for them. I used them on Leroy. I've used it on almost every Mopar I've ever got. I'm just a big fan of Engine Tech. So I'm going to use them to reseal everything. If they don't send an MLS as far as on the exhaust side, I'll probably keep this one. And same with the intake side. If they don't send a metal one of these, I'll probably keep that as well. Those have both worked just fine, pulling stuff on and off. Yeah, I really don't. It's just really satisfying to see that guy on there. And now we no longer have this eyesore that's here. And I might look into getting the other intake valve cover, rocker cover, whatever. But again, I don't want to spend very much money on this. These may end up being gifted to my brother unless we find a way to reuse them. We will have to make motor mounts for what we're going to put in here. But man, I'm excited for it, mainly because nobody has ever done it before. It's going to be the first time we see the particular engine I want to put in here in one of these chassis, period. And it's going to supply more than enough power, more than this thing would at full boost before it's ready to come apart. And no matter how many thousands of dollars we were to put into this motor, it will not produce the same kind of power as what I'm going to swap in there. And it will be equally cheap to build and equally reliable as far as I'm concerned. Drop down in the comments what you think I'm going to put in there. Otherwise, this is it for now. I'm going to quit milking your time. Thanks for being here. Peace.